today, where we're going to be talking about we're actually going to be getting some customer feedback from all of you in terms of what features you would like to see in the Hubshout software and services. I'm Chad Hill, and I'm joined by Adam Stetzer.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Adam Stetzer here. Really excited to hear the feedback. I know there's always lively discussion in our forum. I'm in the Rochester, New York office, and I'm joined by our account management staff today. And we're really excited, Chad. It sounds like a fun one.
Yeah, well, let's get started. And I should also mention that Akil Akbar here in our DC office is actually going to be working some of the screens behind the scenes. We're going to try to do an interactive review of some of these features. So we're looking forward to trying this out. So in terms of an agenda then, what we want to do is we sent out a pre-survey earlier in the week, and we sent a couple reminder emails. So if you didn't get a chance to fill it out, no big deal. We're going to go through a lot of the same material today, but we're using the feedback we did get to help us frame up the discussion and go through the features that people most often requested in terms of just how we've organized today. At the end, we'll also then go through and talk about some other services that we might be interested in building at some point, or at least people have asked us for. We wanted to gauge people's interest in different kinds of services that we've heard people mention. And then at the end, very end, we're going to take all the feedback. As we're going through this, Akil is going to be building one final survey that's going to sort of give us the top of the top. Let's get started. The thing we did is we went through the forum, a bunch of tickets, other conversations that I've had along the way, and we tried to put together just the big list of all the feature requests that people have had, again, in the forum and those other places. We then broke all of those features or categorized those features into these categories. We basically put them into, well, we're going to go through them as we walk, but we pulled all those together so we could then review them in some sort of organized fashion. I should mention that we always are listening to feedback, and part of the things that we've built over time have come from feedback. So, for example, a lot of the home tab changes, the addition of entrances, keywords, the review pending client change, these are all things that really initiated from different customer feedback that you guys provided, again, either in the forum or through other channels of communication. But we are listening and always trying to keep our tools as sharp as possible based on your feedback and the industry. So the categories I mentioned are the following. We broke a bunch of stuff into administration, exporting, proposals and tools, sales tracking, SEO, social media, usability, and training. Here was the initial feedback on those. The three highest feature areas or categories that people expressed an interest in were proposals and tools was number one, then was SEO, and then usability and training. You can see some of the breakdown on the right. So we're going to go through all these categories in the order that you voted them. So if you said, hey, proposals and tools is really the most important thing, and 86.4% of you said that was something we needed to work on, we're going to talk about those features first. So of the proposals and tools features, what people came back and told us is that these were the things, this is rank ordered in terms of the features that people said that were most important on proposals and tools. The first one was ability to update deliverables, add, remove, custom work. And for those people who don't know what this is, we've had several people who say, look, I love your services, but I also do other things that I want to include in the online proposal. So the current setup of our deliverables tab in proposals makes it so that you really only see deliverables for our plans, the things that would be part of the Hubshout service groups. And what people have said is, I would like to be able to go in and custom define, either just in a blank text area or some other way, I want to define my own custom deliverables that I want to put on that tab. That was the top most requested thing. The second thing was making the proposal shareable without a username and password. Again, people want to be able to just simply drop the link to the proposal in an email, send it to their potential customer, have them click on it and open it without having to also send them a username and password. The third top voted feature was adding on-site optimization review to the web grader. So again, we've heard people say, hey, I would like other people's tools out there, whether or not there's a title tag, a description tag, whatever it might be in a web grader tool. So people want to see on-site optimization built into our web grader. Fourth most requested feature was adding your own name to a Hubshout service plan. So right now they are SEO Premier. That's what you're going to see in the proposal. People want to be able to change that name to something that they want, that they name it. And then the final thing was the ability to see proposal analytics for who viewed and when they viewed it. So the idea here is that you would be able to, when someone clicked on that link, be able to see that actually there were 3 people that opened it, or a person opened it 3 times and viewed the proposal. So that would give you an indication to be able to go back and say, let me follow up because now they've opened the proposal. I want to talk to them about it. And then the final one was for some of our international resellers. They wanted the ability to either just not show dollars, so have it sort of be generic, or to be able to change to a different currency value in the actual investment tab that's on the screen. So that's what people said in the pre-survey. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull up a screen, and so all of you out there, it should pop up as a little survey, and you're going to have the ability to vote for multiple items. So vote for the ones that you think are most important. Clearly, if you vote for them all, then you're kind of basically your vote's going to be, you're not really telling us what's your most important feature. But as a overall, everyone putting all their votes together, each thing that someone votes for will get a vote. So I'm going to pop this up right now and give you a few minutes to answer the poll. Okay, here we go. And I have on my side a little indicator that says 4% of the people have voted. So I know everyone has to read these things. It's been about 30 seconds now, so we'll give you another 30 seconds, and we'll go to the next one.
Need some music to go.
Yeah, we need like Jeopardy. Da, na, na, na.
Right.
I guess I could just do that, right?
Yeah. Oh, please, please.
Adam, go grab your guitar and play us some music while we're here. Okay, that's been a minute. I'm going to close that poll out, and Akil will start tallying our final results, and I'll go to the next screen. So again, the next biggest category in terms of things that people voted for was SEO. And these are the features that people voted on there. So the number one thing was Buzz Graphic. Now this is something we've already are launching, but it was at the time a requested feature, so we wanted to get this in here as well. So basically, Buzz Graphic is creating a high-end infographic with an article that's placed on the client's website, and then we do paid advertising using StumbleUpon, promoted tweets, and paid Reddits to basically generate some social interest in that piece of content, with the idea that that will attract backlinks, or at least the site will get that content will get promoted and promoted in the social networks. That's number one thing. Number two was giving clients the ability to, this is adding client review web team publish option. We don't currently have this. What we have today is you either have client, it's basically editor review and then client has to post. So what this is saying is that someone wants the ability for the client to get a review of it and then have our web team come back and publish it on their website. So again, the two options that exist today are either editor review and then web team publishes at that point, or the other option is basically editor review, client publish. The third option would be a press release upgrade service, where basically you could upgrade a current press release syndication to one of the paid wires, whether it's Global Newswire or another one, but it would be a paid newswire, which is going to give you exposure. In the past, we've seen those types of press releases end up on Yahoo Finance and different much larger websites out there. The final one is then adding cut scores to SEO plans based on the value of keywords. It's something that we conceptualized when we launched the new plans, but it's not yet in the system. The idea is, again, the ability for to help guide you to the appropriate plan. You'll be able to understand the keyword value that an individual plan might be able to manage, and then give you a value for each of the keywords, so that you could say these 5 keywords are appropriate are going to require that I invest in this type of plan. I'm going to go ahead and open the polls on this one. Okay, polls are open. Again, I was saying earlier, this might be the way we vote for Congress next time or something. Adam, any feedback? I know we got everybody busy out there, not taking so many questions, but is anyone having trouble with this process?
No trouble. A couple people have chimed in to say, good afternoon, nice to see you again. So it's always good to see our old friends back here again. But no, I think everybody's busy voting.
Cool. We're not going too slow then. It looks like coming up on 1 minute here, another 5 seconds. All right, go on to the next thing. Usability and training. Third, we get a lot of these type of requests and comments, and I think very good feedback. And we're working on this. We've been making some changes around the company to get focused on this, because a lot of people have mentioned it. But here are the features that, in rank order from the pre-webinar survey. Number 1 was the ability to easily jump between campaigns via dropdown. So I don't know if any of you know this. I just will throw this out there to explain it. The way it works today is that if you don't have access to the admin tab, so most of your end clients who log into the dashboard, instead of seeing the search box in the upper right-hand corner to navigate from campaign to campaign, they actually get a drop-down, because typically they don't have access to that many campaigns. So I believe what this feature is saying is, hey, give me that same drop-down. I don't want to use the search tool so that I can more quickly get from campaign to campaign. Second option was the option to click directly into the client dashboard view. So again, I think a lot of people want to know what their clients are seeing. They're unsure of what they're seeing, so they want the ability to somehow say, log in or let me see the dashboard as if I was my end client logging in. The third one was allowing communications from Hubshout to be set at a user level. We just most recently added the review pending client notification of user level, but we've had some people say, I want to be able to opt in or out of lead notifications, newsletters, social media monthly reports. We're going to be working on a new weekly and daily summary report email. So all of those features and options be at the user account level rather than at the campaign level. Next one was adding the ability to copy or duplicate an email campaign. So we have the ability to duplicate a template. I believe there was a request here to be able to also duplicate a campaign. And actually, someone even wanted the ability to duplicate a group of nurture campaigns at the same time. So take 5 nurture campaigns, all part of an overall nurture campaign, and replicate that. The next one was localizing the time zones for portals. Next one was opening tasks in a new tab window. This one maybe takes a little bit of description. I think what people are looking for here is they just want the ability to have multiple tabs open with different tasks they need to be doing, rather than cycling back through the task view over and over again. They can just open up a bunch of tabs. And then the final one was in-client campaign is the default campaign upon logging in. Again, this is, I think, this navigation request, which is kind of how it works today, but I want to throw this out there. It's maybe more of a communication issue than anything else. I'm going to open the polls. Polls are open. What I find interesting here actually is that we had a couple training-oriented questions, but those did not make the list. So interesting. So far, it looks like the results are pretty much directly in line with the pre-webinar results, so at least we're being consistent. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. The next group was working on overall administration. And actually, there's a couple. These are some good ones. I know. Again, we've had some of these requests in the forum quite often. So let's go through this. The top feature in the pre-survey was set email notification for each action. This is actually very similar to the last one. Monthly report, lead notification, monthly newsletter, and social monitoring queue. So this one kind of popped into both administration and usability. Second one was remove plan references from the support ticket creation window. And I'll explain that one. We had a couple people mention that they wanted to get their end clients to start using the support ticket process, but that today when you click support, that it actually has, again, the name of the plan as we've named it, and the suggestion was just to keep it more generic. So is this an SEO, a local SEO, a pay-per-click issue, a general account billing issue, rather than naming the plan. Third one here was creating an overview screen that summarizes all active campaigns with quick links to campaign details and tasks. So this would really be a reseller dashboard type of view. You would more than likely, when you clicked on admin, be presented with a summary of, again, all your accounts. Not sure how many summary stats we could get there, but at least we'd have a list, and then tell you which ones were active, and then give you a link to, basically drill down into the details on that campaign or account. The next one here, number 4, was the option ability to hide. The option ability to hide from a salesperson. That's an interesting one. I don't know exactly. I might have captured that one wrong. So think about that one for a second. Fifth one is the online kickoff questionnaire for SEO, pay-per-click, and local. So the idea with this one was that rather than us collecting tasks as we or collecting information through a number of questionnaires that we send you, that much like the website process, we would basically require questionnaire information prior to SOW sign-off so that everything was gathered. Now, it would shift some of the administrative burden up front, but the idea is that it would streamline all of the delivery work and fulfillment work, because we would have everything we need to get the project going. And then the last request was changing the support tickets so that they go to the reseller, not Hubshout. Again, this is related to that second one where there were some people interested in using the support ticket process for themselves, and they just wanted to make sure that they were notified of in-customer support tickets. So that was the question there. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I know what number 4 is. We're just missing a word there. The option to it's the option ability to hide pricing from a salesperson. And so the idea there was that for those resellers who have salespeople, you currently have the ability. They wanted the ability to be able to hide all pricing altogether, both wholesale and retail, from their end customer, from their salesperson, so that they could just be essentially an administrator of the plan, but not get into pricing. Okay, I'm going to open the polls on that one. Polls are open. Adam, do you see the poll when we're opened up there, or is it just the people who are end users?
No, we see the administrators see it. It's kind of fun because I see it in real time, ticking up. Okay. 19% voted, 22, 25, 28. So I can see them as they're coming in, and I got a real-time result. It's pretty cool little technology here.
Yeah.
34% so far. So we got, we're almost at 40 now, pushing half. So half of you voted. Come on, everybody. I want to hear from everybody here.
Seems like we don't. We
know
like 65
we know who
you
are. All right, we're up to what, 53%.
Yeah, I think we have a couple other team members on the in the webinar who probably aren't voting, so that's fine. Okay, closing this out. Oh, wow, that's some good ones there. Okay, exporting, another big one that people have asked about. So with exporting the features, most of this has typically come down to people wanting to export to PDF or exporting to a CSV or Excel file. So these are the things that people have most often requested when it comes to getting stuff out of the dashboard. One, the most frequently requested thing was printable proposals and research reports. So people have said that, hey, people just, and this goes back to a little bit the proposals and tools initial questions that we talked about. So think about this one, because well, there are two different options we have here. One was make it easier to send a link to somebody to open the proposal, but even with that, some people have said, look, like, I just need to be able to get a PDF out of the dashboard, attach it to an email, because that's what my end customer wants. They want to be able to print this thing out, put it on the desk next to their other proposals. So that was the top requested feature there. Second one was higher resolution logo on monthly reports. Again, it's surprising this one popped up so high, but I guess some people have felt that our current PDF process, they have high resolution logos, but what's actually being generated on the PDF isn't as high resolution as they would like, so it looks a little pixelated. Third one was the CSV download of on-page audits. So this is our new on-site audit process. What some people were looking for, especially those people who want to implement it themselves or want to be able to export it so they can more closely go through it with their client. They wanted to be able to export the recommendations as a CSV file or Excel file. The next one was the ability to export leads from the list, and also, or the other one there was PDF export of leads from the sales tab. Again, I'm not sure there's a terribly different, but we wanted to make sure we put that to a vote. But again, people getting data out of the lead information and PDF export. And then the last one that came up on our list was the redesigning the now defunct keyword alert email to be a daily or weekly account summary email. So again, I want to sell this one because this is something I really would like to get prioritized highly here. We were sending out from Google Analytics the keyword alert that would show you yesterday or last week's traffic, which keywords were driving traffic to the website from an organic standpoint. What this would be is more likely than not sort of taking the data that's currently on the home tab, so the summary stats, and putting that into an email format. So it may not look exactly the same, but the data would be similar, and then giving you the option to either send that out on a weekly basis or a daily basis, so people would be able to see how many phone calls they got last week or yesterday, web leads, and then there would be links that would lead them into the dashboard. Okay, so let's open this one up for a vote. Whoops. Okay, here we go. Okay, polls are open. Wow, that is undeniable there, huh, Adam? Look at that. People want to be able to get PDFs out of the proposal tool.
I would not do it. Don't do it, man. Many networks have messed up, calling it too early. You never know.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Though now we're 60% of the vote in, so okay, Tom Brokaw, you can take it.
I can call it.
Right.
Ohio goes to printable PDF proposals. Okay, closing that one. Good feedback. Of course, we will not send any of this information out to anybody that way. I'm joking, but it's great feedback. This is cool. Okay, sales tracking. So this, again, got a lot of, sorted down the list a little bit in terms of overall interest in that category, but some of these features I think are pretty cool little features, and certainly when it comes to differentiation against other people out there selling, the services that you're selling to your clients, these are some nice little good differentiators. But top feature in sales tracking, this is anything in the sales tab, was adding advanced filtering for phone calls and web leads by medium, label, date, and status. So the feedback directly there was, when I'm on the analytics screen, currently I only get to see it, especially at the bottom, I only see the month-to-date information. I want to be able to make that month-to-date, last month, maybe even set a custom date range. So getting a better view of the breakdown by labels and dates and status. Second most frequently requested feature was include the URL in the email lead notifications. We'll leave this in here as a feature, but we may have a solution for it. But people have said, especially the resellers, I get these emails that have my logo on it, and somebody's getting a web lead, but I'm not sure whether it's my first client or my second client or my third client. So could you please tell me somewhere in that email body or subject line who it's coming from. Third one is sending email notifications for phone calls at time of call, I should say, because the daily or the sort of daily or weekly report we were envisioning would have some summary stats. But what people wanted there was, is like, I want to be able to get an email, listen to the phone call, and be able to walk up to the front desk and talk to the person answering the phone and say, hey, what went wrong with that call? Let me give you a little coaching. So this would be the super hands-on end customer who wants the email notification as soon as it comes in. Fourth one was adding the ability to have phone calls transcribed and readable in the dashboard. Pretty cool. The phone company we use does have an option where, and it costs money, but they have an option where they can take that phone call, transcribe it, and we could have the transcript available so you don't have to listen to the full phone call. And then the last one was adding a new table or screen for end users to show all active phone numbers and ability to change ring at number. So the issue that we're trying to address here is that we as administrators can get to the setup tab, which gives us the list of all phone numbers. The problem is that the end customer, in this case, doesn't have a place to go where they can see all the phone numbers that we've created for them. And then potentially with some of our resellers, some want the ability to actually change the ring to number. Some people will say, don't give my customers that ability. But this feature would maybe include both. Okay, I'm going to open the polls on this. Polls are open. Okay. Wow, got some extra voters on this one. Cool. Give you 10 more seconds here. All right, looks like we're good. Okay, last one is social media. And there definitely were some requests in along the way on this tool. Today, our social media tab, at least in the dashboard, primarily you can set up one social monitoring queue, which we then pull back information from a lot of different sources. It includes YouTube, and you can get public Facebook posts, and you can get tweets. So a couple things that came back. So what people wanted the number one feature that people were asking for is the ability to add multiple social monitoring queues to the social tab. Again, we're limited today to one. What people would like is to be able to say, I would like to monitor all mentions of Hubshout, and I would like to mention all mentions of, I don't know, bed hubs or something, whatever, whatever example. It's not a great one, but you have two things you want to monitor. So I could have both of those in the same tab. The second one, and I think probably the better example would be a company that maybe has its brand name, but it also has products that they want to make sure they're mentioning, or maybe competitors. Maybe there's a reason to want to monitor what your competitors are doing so that you can see what's out there. Or another example could be, for reputation management type things, you put in company name, but you put in a couple of the executives or different people that might be being talked about in the media, and you want to follow their mentions as well. Next one would be adding some Facebook analytics data to the dashboard. So things like number of people who like your page, and other analytics that we can pull back from this Facebook API. Another one would be Twitter analytics to dashboard. So this would be followers, number of tweets, maybe retweets. We've also started with actually putting in a URL shortener that we can get some stats back from, so you'd even be able to see number of people who clicked on a link that you put in a tweet. So that would be an analytics option there. And then the final one would be YouTube analytics. So that would be number of people who are subscribed to your YouTube channel, as well as the ability to see things like maybe views of YouTube videos. We don't have G+ on here. That probably should be there as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open the voting for social media. It looks like most people have already voted. Give you 10 or 15 more seconds. Short list this time. Okay, we'll close that out. Now, while we go on, Akil is going to sort those results out and build us one final poll that we'll do at the end. But let's talk about services for a moment. Well, in addition to the different features in the dashboard, which a lot of people have a lot of great ideas on, a lot of great input, at the end of the day, all of us make most of our money off of the services that we provide. So we're always kind of looking at the industry. This has been a very busy year in terms of changes in the industry, and algorithm updates and new all sorts of new things happening, right? So we're also thinking about what kind of products and services is the market out there asking for. And we've got a lot of great feedback recently saying, hey, your reseller partners, you guys on the phone today, are the experts in knowing what the market is looking for. We're out talking to end customers every day. So we can kind of step back and think of some ideas that might be interesting products or services for us to build. We want your input on that as well. We'd love to hear those kinds of ideas. So I came up with 4. Some of these are ones that you guys have mentioned. Some are ones that might be a little bit more greenfield, looking at the products that we've been building and things we've been doing for ourselves. But these are the 4 products that I wanted to get some votes on. Okay. Oops. So the 4 that we put out there were basically that there was reputation, monitoring, and management. And this one rated the highest. What reputation monitoring and management means, in at least when we've talked to people, is that it's the ability of proactively generating and doing a broad scan on mentions of a business, but then also specifically identifying 4 or 5 things, especially things like Google+, Yelp, a couple, and a few other review sites that we would very specifically look at. But it's watching those sites, and then when a negative review comes up, we would basically review it, analyze it, and provide a recommendation on how to best address it. So that's reputation monitoring and management. 90% of people said they're interested in it. And this one, actually, we don't have a poll on. So, at the end of this, we'll probably want to maybe have some people submit some comments. The next one was competitive link analysis and building. We have been kind of talking about this as link neutralization, but we had some feedback to the team that maybe link and neutralization were, maybe those sounded kind of negative. The general idea is competitive analysis of your other competitors in the search engines, and identifying where there are overlaps of places that maybe usually at least two of your competitors have links that you don't, because typically if two people do, then there's the ability to get a third. Oftentimes when one person has a proprietary or special deal with a certain site, it's sometimes hard to come in and get that same link. But it's identifying places where there's overlap and going and then putting together an action plan on how we can also get your client presence on that same website. So again, 90% of people said they were interested, 4.5 said not interested, 4.5 said no opinion. Swarm social media promotion. This we test internally. The general idea on this is that we have several employees at Hubshout, and when we create content for ourselves, whether it's videos or blog posts, or even when we get a guest blog post on an industry site, we basically request that everyone at the company help us promote that on their own social media, as well as going and engaging in the conversation on that post. So this would be trying to productize that so that there were some incentives for your client's employees to basically help promote the client's social media. So if your clients are one-man shops, maybe it doesn't work as well. But if you work with clients who have several employees, this is a way to it's basically to productize the idea of encouraging your client or your client's employees to promote social media. And you almost could think of it as like we might build some reward programs, like help us promote the content, reach a bigger audience, and enter to win something or get some sort of free prize. The final one is a small business bundle. We've had a lot of requests for this. The idea is to hit a price point on the street of around $500. So this would be essentially a $6,000 a year type of product. And what we would do is blend in a little social, a very little bit of SEO in terms because you just don't have that much budget, but some some on-site blogging, maybe a little bit of content marketing, using social media, and then local SEO, putting those products together and really focusing on a price point that gets you kind of some breadth across these different categories for around $500. So again, that one came out as being pretty interested. So of those four, people came back and said, hey, look, these three look pretty good: reputation monitoring, competitive link analysis, and then some sort of small business bundle. Okay. Give me 1 second. Adam, actually, if anyone has any comments on this in terms of what things they like or don't like, go ahead and throw those in the comments field right now and just say, hey, look, yeah, reputation monitoring +1 on that for me, because we'll get that from the log afterward. And while you do that, I'm going to go check to see if we have our final poll ready. 1 second. Okay, so we have a final list here. Okay, here we go. So this was, of the ones, everything you voted for, the 5 top features across all the different categories were adding on-site optimization review to WebGrader, adding multiple social monitoring queues, easily jumping between campaigns via drop-down, online kickoff questionnaire for SEO pay-per-click, and printable PDF proposals and research reports. So let's get one final vote on this. And we'll probably have to look at this. The methodology may not be perfect, but we will take that into account. Launch this thing right now. Okay, so let us know of those 5, which I think basically ended up being the top of each of the categories that we identified. And unfortunately, GoToWebinar only lets us have 5 things that we can have people vote on. But let's vote on these 5 to try to come up with sort of the top feature. Oh no, Adam. It's not going to call it yet, but we
Oh, getting close, Jen. 15, really. Neck and neck.
Well, it's interesting. People are like, what's interesting? Okay. We got 72% voting, and I don't think I can share this, but I can read this part to everyone. So what we ended up with was the leader was printable PDFs. 37% said that was proposals. Sorry, printable PDF proposals. 37%, and then the runner-up was the on-site optimization to the web grader. So that's interesting. I think what that really tells me, at least, is that sales is king. We all have to sell more, and we need the tools to do it. So this is great feedback, and I do appreciate everyone coming today. And Adam, I don't know if we have any questions or comments in the forum or in the comments at this point that we should address here.
I think I've lost my comment window when you guys launched the polls, so maybe Akil has it, but I don't have any, no.
Okay. Okay. Well, so for those of you who did comment and we weren't able to respond, we were doing a little extra work here today with GoToWebinar. So anyway, I wanted to thank everyone for coming today. This has been really interesting, and like I said, it is really important to get your feedback. We're glad that we got even more of it today. We'd like to do these, we have to prioritize. This isn't something we can do, monthly, but this is something that's probably good to check in on a quarterly basis, or and just see, what are the top ranking features. So I'm not sure we'll do it in this format again, but definitely want to get people's input and keep using that, and we have used that in the past to build out all of the things that we've so far put into the dashboard, into our services. So thanks again for coming. Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Really appreciate your feedback, and we'll see you in the forums. Take care.